With Sam Katkovski, who manages Alex Saucedo and Regis Prograis. We're here at that Walk Out West. Now you have obviously two great fighters on the line that are the same weight. First of all, Regis has a big fight in New Orleans. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I mean, both the guys got big fights. Both guys are fighting at home, which is, you know, I love when hometown fighters build that fan base in their own hometown. So Alex is going June 30th. Regis is going 2 weeks later, July 14th. You know, Alex's fight is a huge step up for him. It's probably his toughest opponent to date, with a title really in the next fight if he wins. Either possibly WBO against Maurice Hooker, and then Regis has a fight on the 14th against Argentinian kid Juan Jose Velasco, and then if he wins, he's going to the World Boxing Super Series tournament.
How difficult is it for you, Sam? Because you're in a very unique position. You have two great fighters at the same weight, obviously are possibly going to fight in the near future. How does that work?
I think there's a few managers that have been in those positions, and for me, it's right now they're on their own paths. Regis has a tournament that he's going to, and he'll have his own path fighting for the few of the belts. Alex has a potential to go the other route and fight for the WBO belt with a chance to unify against Jose Ramirez for the WBC belt. So they're on their own paths. Now eventually they might meet. If they're at that point where they meet and that financially makes a lot of sense, I think it'd be great for both of them. They can make a lot of money. You know, they're two rising stars in the 140-pound division.
And Sam, can you talk about Regis? I was here last time, and he really wants that fight against Jose Ramirez.
Sure. I mean, well, you know, it stems from the fact that we weren't able to get the fight in the summer. He felt like he was being the interim, and I think everything that went through before that, how he got to fight for the interim while Jose got to fight for the regular. He felt it was a little unfair. You know, he wanted that fight for the summer. There were some circumstances that didn't allow that fight to happen, and in a better business move, it worked out, I think, best for everybody. Now Regis gets to go in a tournament and gets to fight for very lucrative amount of money and the potential to come out with a few belts in his pocket and the ability to fight. You know, Jose, if that's Jose, who's still a champion out of the tournament, or if that's somebody else like Alex. You know, and then there's obviously the desire to face Jose at some point down the road again, if it makes sense.
How do you see that fight, Sam? Jose versus Regis. I see you.
We were very okay with that fight for him in the summer. Actually, I love that fight for both of my guys. I think Jose is a great fighter. I just believe in both of my fighters and their abilities to do well against someone like Jose. Nothing is Jose. He's a great champion. He's got a great style. You know, I love to watch his fights. He's an entertaining fighter. I just like my guys' abilities, and I think both guys would do really well against Jose.
I know his trainer really wants that fight.
Which trainer?
Regis.
Oh, Regis' trainer. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Jose's trainer. I was like, wait, Jose just switched trainers. They're ready? Yeah, well, of course, Bobby wants that fight. Bobby loves that fight for Regis. I think stylistically, it's a great fight for Regis. You know, I think our whole team would want that fight. Look, Regis has other fighters in front of him for the next year and a half. So I think the conversation with Jose is not going to come up till after the tournament, if Jose is still a champion. You know, obviously me having Alex as well, I think Alex will likely get that shot at Jose beforehand, and I have a very, very good belief that Alex will beat Jose. And then you never know, I might have the two guys fighting each other, which is not my preference, but you know, I think if there's a lot of money involved, both guys will be up for the challenge.
Who wants that fight more between the two, Alex or Regis? Are they fighting to get that fight? Not fighting, but I'm saying like...
I know what you mean, yeah. Look, Jose, Alex has been calling out Jose for quite a bit of time. When I first got involved with Alex, I've managed Alex for close to 2 years now, and Regis has obviously only had one fight with him. When we first got involved with Alex, the guy that was always on our radar was Jose, because they're both young guys. They're in the same stable at Top Rank. They're both Mexican fighters with a great style, and one of the fights that we always understood could potentially happen is Jose. Alex has told me about Jose and his desire to fight him the second I signed him, before I even signed him. So I think both guys won that fight. Well, for Regis it's different. Regis, it was a matter of like, look, the thing that happened with the WBC convention, they gave me the interim title. I think for Regis's desire that he was skipped through for the regular title, and now he was an interim champion, he wanted to fight Jose, it didn't happen. It's just they look at it different ways. I think they both won that fight, and I think at the end of the day, they both just won that title. You know, for some of these, for some of the guys, the titles matter. I think for everybody, titles matter, belts matter, and I think they just won that green belt. It's a historic belt, and it's one of the belts that I think either guy would be happy to have.
And if Regis gets past this man in New Orleans, he's fighting July 14th, correct?
He's fighting July 14th. He's fighting in New Orleans at his hometown. We expect a nice little home support for him. And then he goes in the tournament, which will start in September, October. So we're waiting. I think there's actually, I saw something on Twitter today that the announcement is going to happen right after Regis's fight, and we'll go out to like the same thing, draft gala, sometime in July. So at that point, we'll know our first fight that will be in September, October, and then there's, I think it's January, February, and then in May. So we'll be tied up, unless there's injuries like it happened with Usyk Garcia that might be pushed back. So we'll be tied up through the next summer with Regis. And Alex, June 30th, and then hopefully, if the Maurice Hooker deal finalizes, we would be happy to fight him, you know, sometime in the fall.
And he's getting into that tournament if he gets past this correct?
Yeah, we have the contract signed for the tournament already. We just we need to get by him. You know, we're not overlooking anybody. First July 14th. Trouble happens when you overlook some people. And we're not, you know, Regis is not overlooking anybody. He started camp here. He did about 2 weeks here, and did about doing the rest of the stuff in Houston, where he usually does camp. Some great sparring out there too. And then, yeah, you know, July 14th, he'll, as long as he wins, and which he should, we're signed up to the tournament. The contract's already signed.
All right, thank you, Sam. Anything you want to let our viewers know? Anything at all?
Hey, watch these guys fight. You know, I don't have a lot of fighters, but I get involved with guys that truly. I'm very picky, but I get involved with guys that I truly believe have the potential to be stars and superstars. And both of these guys not only have the potential to be stars, they are never in a boring fight. They bring something that I truly believe in, knockouts. I don't enjoy managing fighters that people will comment to me or comment all around that, you know, he won, but it wasn't entertaining. Both of my guys are entertaining, and I suggest June 30th tuning into ESPN, and then July 14th tuning into ESPN again and watching these guys fight.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate your time. Where can we follow you?
Follow my fighters. Follow both of the guys on Instagram. Follow Regis Prograis. Follow Alex Saucedo. And if you want to follow me at Sam_Katkovski.